Hollywood ambassador Mel Gibson has vowed to expose and dismantle the child trafficking epidemic and the adrenochrome industry that has plagued Hollywood for decades. But first, there are thousands of innocent children to be rescued. Children whose lives are on the verge of being destroyed by the paedophile elite of the industry. Mel Gibson is already delivering on his promise to take on the child trafficking epidemic. He recently spearheaded a raid on a notorious trafficking network, rescuing dozens of children from a sophisticated tunnel system that coincidentally connects to Tom Hanks's property, one of the few homes left standing in the aftermath of recent devastation. As more dark connections continue to surface, investigators are being confronted with chilling questions. What terrifying truths lie beneath the glittering facade of Hollywood? And how far will these powerful figures go to protect their secrets? Before we dive in, join the People's Voice Locals community if you haven't already, and sign up to become a member of the world's first ever cyber nation that truly believes in life, liberty, and the pursuit of your dreams. Visit joson.com and click the Join Us button today. It's completely free. The elites in Hollywood have been feeling the effects of Putin shutting down child factory farms in Ukraine in the past 2 years. And they began moving their operations elsewhere, including within the United States and Mexico. However, the Trump presidency has sparked a powerful wave of law enforcement action, targeting the horrific epidemic of child trafficking in the US. Now, the elites who thought they were untouchable are finding themselves cornered, as their dark secrets are finally coming to light. Special agents with Homeland Security investigations and the US Border Patrol found a sophisticated cross-border tunnel connecting El Paso, Texas to Mexico. Investigators confirmed that this tunnel was used to sex traffic children, and now forensic evidence has linked it to the child trafficking epidemic run out of the Hollywood entertainment industry in Los Angeles. According to CIA sources, 8 million children go missing in the world each and every year, the vast majority of them lost into a system of paedophilia and adrenochrome blood trafficking, while the mainstream media downplay the gravity of the epidemic to protect their overlords from public scrutiny. To the criminal elite, children are now a more valuable commodity than drugs. And in Hollywood, children operate as a unit of currency, according to Mel Gibson, who warns that industry elites, including many household names, regularly feast on the blood of children, who are trafficked through a vast underground tunnel network using various means of transportation. For years, the media has worked tirelessly to bury the truth, but recent events have shattered their narrative. Hollywood actress Penelope Ann Miller, who stars in the new movie Reagan, accidentally revealed something chilling. Hollywood elites have secret tunnels running beneath their homes. It's a slip-up that exposed far more than she intended.
Yeah, but we're vulnerable. But we're vulnerable to looters because we're not allowed to be in our homes to protect our own homes.
So do they have checkpoints and are they blocking off the roads and stuff like that?
Like if they catch you, like literally my husband and I went like we were underground going through tunnels or going through like codes and weird ways and hopping fences. And I have a torn ACL right now. And I'm literally like hopping a fence to try and get into my own home.
Ask yourself, when it comes to the elites, do you believe in miracles and coincidences? According to the mainstream media, Tom Hanks's Hollywood home was saved by a miracle, while his neighbors weren't so lucky. Investigators claim Tom Hanks's home remained standing amidst the devastation because, while the elite are determined to burn the world to the ground and build back better, they are equally determined to shield themselves and bury the evidence of their crimes. Hanks and his elite allies have a lot to hide, and now they appear to have perfected their method. A forensic arborist has revealed a chilling pattern. Nearly all wildfires in California, since the infamous Paradise Fires, can be traced back to the use of directed energy weapons, raising alarming questions about who is truly behind these so-called natural disasters.
The twigs, the needles, the branches, even the trees will burn down, sometimes to a low stump or even a hole in the ground. Not like this one. This was the big Coffee Park fire in Santa Rosa, where 4,700 homes were turned to white ash. And look at the trees. Why aren't they missing along with the houses? Many of these are pine family relatives. Eucalyptus against that road there, or whatever that is, against the road. Those are eucalyptus back there, the round ones. Those are so flammable, a cigarette lighter in your hand can light those on fire. A green leaf, light them right on fire. The forest is primarily valley oak, blue oak, and California bay, which is a very combustible leaf. I can light them on fire again with a cigarette lighter. They didn't burn. There's a bay tree right there. The bottoms will always be burned right at ground level. No reason for that. Grass couldn't do that. You don't take a lot of flames to do that. No, they're being cooked right where they're at. Here's a fence line. They all look like this. Burned at the nails, burned at the ground. The only place they burn is at the ground and wherever the metals were. What fire does that? A normal fire would burn the post from the bottom up, not skip spots. No, they favor the metals, of course. This is a tall post, perhaps 5 or 6 feet high, and way up high, eye level, just the nail area burned. Here's this board. What really burned? The nails on that board. This little guardrail is a park guardrail, and actually it's all wood. There's no metal here. The cross member, the long ones, and the post are all wood. And each one was burned like this, where the screws were. Many trees are cooking from the inside out. They're burned on the inside, and there's no hole to get a flame in there. This thing was about 4 feet in diameter in a spring, burned from the inside out, and not one leaf burned. When you look at the cuts, this is very important. These are 90% dead. They should not have that heartwood. The dark area is the heartwood. It shows me these things were cooked from the inside out. Here's a soil bag. It still had soil in it. That was there. The tennis shoe was there. And you see the black. There's black everywhere. A cushion for your chair. I see this chainsaw in the back of this pickup truck. The window melted out at 2,500 degrees. All the tires burned completely, leaving the slinky-like steel belts. That plastic should be gone completely, down to the metals. Didn't happen.
There's so much white ash in some of these photos. It looks like the heat would have been really intense. However, it didn't reach very far.
Why is that? Why is everything reduced to white ash versus...
Well, I'm going to have to say it's because of the extreme heat. It's a different kind of flame. To me, these are microwave-based flames.
These fires are not random acts of nature. They were engineered by the elite to transform Los Angeles into a network of dystopian 15-minute cities, perfectly timed for the 2028 Olympics. The evidence is clear. This is the first step in their sinister Build Back Better agenda, starting in LA and soon spreading to cities everywhere else. But the elite want it all. While the world burns, their chosen few, those complicit in their evil agenda, will be spared, enjoying safety and privilege while everyone else is left to suffer. The massive help signs crafted from debris in Los Angeles are far from the work of a random individual. They're calculated cries for attention, aimed at exposing a dark and horrifying reality that most people can't begin to fathom. The coordinates of these sites align with a location already known to law enforcement, a place where 80 children were previously rescued from unimaginable circumstances. This isn't speculation, it's an undeniable truth that demands the public's attention. The evidence is mounting, pointing to a vast trafficking network that operates in the shadows, with the protection and likely complicity of powerful institutions. Notice a telltale symbol circling the LA Sheriff's badge. The mainstream media, law enforcement, and even tech companies are actively working to suppress this information because it implicates them. The tide is turning, and a dedicated team of truth seekers and industry insiders is stepping up to expose the global operation that's been hiding in plain sight for far too long. Major moves are happening as we speak, and the walls are closing in on those who thought they were untouchable. After the break, we'll hear from an insider who was part of the recent raid that rescued dozens of children, a first-hand account that you won't want to miss. Today's sponsor is PillsForever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. Under Biden, the price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with PillsForever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this testimony of Joe Tippins, a cancer survivor, thanks to fenbendazole.
2 years ago, Joe Tippins says he was told to go home, call hospice, and say his goodbyes. The doctors were unanimous. He was going to die of small cell lung cancer.
Once that kind of cancer goes that far afield, the odds of survival are less than 1%, and the median life expectancy is 3 months.
Tippins says he got a tip, not from a pharmacist, but a veterinarian. And in his desperation, he turned from people medicine to dog medicine. Specifically, fenbendazole.
My insurance company spent $1.2 million on me with traditional means before I switched to a $5 a week medicine that actually saved me.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video or call 256-664-4170 to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut pulled back the veil on the Luciferian rituals and sinister power plays of the global elite, exposing a world few dare to imagine. His untimely death just days after completing the film remains a chilling testament to the dangers of revealing such secrets. Take a close look at the object in the right hand of the masked man leading this occult ritual. Decades later, the elite haven't changed. Instead, they've grown bolder, performing their occult symbolism in plain sight. The Chris Gethard Show is a prime example, showcasing their rituals under the guise of comedy while mocking the public's oblivion. The object held by the occult practitioner in Eyes Wide Shut is identical to the one held by an occult practitioner during the Ritual of the Mind segment on The Chris Gethard Show, where Will Ferrell repeatedly insisted this is not a metaphor. In front of an audience of Satanists and other Hollywood freaks, they brazenly carried out a satanic Hollywood ritual in plain sight, disguising it as a joke. Newsflash, it wasn't.
We have this ritual of the mind. What I've been told is this will break me down.
It's not for the faint of heart. Yeah.
And you're gonna be my shaman and walk me through this thing.
Shaman, if you've got the guts to go there.
Remove the subject's clothes.
Yeah!
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 Let us stare upon his baby skin and chest hair, which can be accurately summed up as not yet a man, but not still a boy. Now the subject shall bathe in the blood of a gifted turtle. This will make your show irresistible to viewers. It will be like one of those live NBC musicals that makes everyone lose their goddamn minds. But to be truly great, the host must accept that he's also one with Earth, a dirt person. It's not much of a metaphor here. This one is just pretty clear cut. Make him a dirt person. Repeat after me. You are nothing.
You are nothing.
Increase the numbers.
Increase the numbers.
This is not art.
This is not art.
Increase the numbers.
Increase the numbers.
This is not art.
This is not art.
Increase the numbers.
Increase the numbers.
Step up to this mirror. Don't hold back. Tell that emu you love that emu.
Why must I love?
If you don't learn to love things, did you just throw up?
A little bit, yes. And then a large amount of snot came out of my nose.
Look into the mirror.
I love the emu. I love you, emu. Bring him to daddy. Bring him to daddy.
Come up, my child. Come up. Come up. Come up.
Suckle from my womb.
When it comes to the Luciferian elites, there are no coincidences and no jokes. There's too much at stake for them to let the truth come out. In Hollywood, success isn't just earned. It's bought and paid for with contracts signed with the devil. The rewards are vast: fame, fortune, and influence. But the price of that success is a lifetime of unquestioning servitude to the Luciferian elite. Unfortunately, the real victims here are the children, sacrificed on the altar of the occult belief system, a paedophile cult stretching back 9,000 years, when ancient civilizations, including the Babylonians, sacrificed their firstborn to Moloch and engaged in carnal rituals with underage boys and girls. Some things don't change. Have you noticed how many Hollywood celebrities have lost a child in tragic circumstances? Have you noticed how many of these children were the firstborn? Children have long been the unspoken currency of Hollywood, feeding a dark system that demands young blood to appease its insatiable hunger. But according to insiders, Mel Gibson has had enough. He's reached his breaking point and is taking action, working with Trump as ambassador to Hollywood by tipping off authorities about the locations of well-known child trafficking networks and underground tunnels holding captive children. And now, the raids have begun.
We've seen a lot over the years, but nothing prepared us for what we found in that raid. We were acting on a tip from Mel Gibson. He's been working quietly as a Hollywood ambassador under the administration's directive to clean up the entertainment industry. Yix has been gathering intelligence from insiders, and he gave us specific coordinates to target. He said, "You'll find them there, just go, right now." And he was right.
What did you see when you arrived?
The tunnel system was more sophisticated than we imagined. It wasn't just some makeshift hideout. It was fully equipped. IV drips, medical supplies, and holding cells. When we got to the main area, we found dozens of children hooked up to IVs. Most of them were so weak they couldn't even cry for help. They just stared at us with hollow eyes. These kids had been stripped of their humanity, used, discarded. It was unspeakable. It was degeneracy made manifest.
Were you able to save all of them?
Most of them, yes, but there was one boy. He couldn't make it. He was maybe 6 or 7, skin and bones, barely clinging to life. The medics tried everything, but he was too far gone. His body had given up long before we got there. I'll never forget the look on his face. He didn't die scared. He died relieved, like he finally found peace. I cannot begin to comprehend the horrors he must have experienced in his short life. It's something I'll carry with me for the rest of my life.
What does this mean for the larger investigation?
This is just the beginning. The networks we're uncovering go deeper than anyone could have imagined. These aren't isolated incidents. This is a global operation protected by powerful people. The kind of evil we're dealing with here is almost too much for the average person to comprehend. But Gibson is determined. He's vowed to expose every last piece of this puzzle, and we're not going to stop until we've brought everyone involved to justice.
What would you say to those who still doubt this is happening?
I'd tell them to open their eyes. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy reality. The children we found, the evidence we've uncovered, the atrocities being committed, it's all real. And it's our job to make sure the world knows the truth. The elite who orchestrate this think they're untouchable, but they're wrong. Justice is coming.
And Mel Gibson?
He's not just an actor anymore. He's a man on a mission. He's risking everything to shine a light on this darkness. If there's one thing I've learned through this, it's that courage like his can ignite a movement. And with his help, we're going to expose this network, no matter how powerful its protectors might be.
More people are speaking up about the truth, and we are becoming an unstoppable force. Every time you share this information with the masses, you're helping the cause and bringing the end of the cabal closer. But be warned, blowing the whistle on the elite is a dangerous game, as Hollywood actor Jim Caviezel found out when he shared what he knows about adrenochrome and the entertainment industry.
But we've seen this over and over again in the media. You said ivermectin's bad. That's listed under the NIH. Hydroxychloroquine is bad for us. That's listed under the NIH. Adrenochrome, that's not true. It's C9H9NO3. This is a chemical compound that is absolutely, this has been around in modern science since the 1930s. You can actually, there's a synthetic form and there's a regular, natural form, which is caused by torturing little kids to get their adrenaline up, essentially, and then extracting it from them. When you sit and meet, and so I brought this up a few years ago, and all of a sudden I was attacked by every media. Look it up. It's there. They absolutely went after me. And the next day, I never heard from my agency for 14 months. My lawyers let me go. My agency never called me after that. And essentially I was done. And so when we go and do movies like this, you spend a great deal of time with agents, working with them. I didn't realize the connection, though, to my industry and to Epstein Island and all of that. But obviously there is.
If you want to live in a world that's safe for our children, it's time to choose a side and make a stand. Are you on the side of the Hollywood entertainment system that corrupts and abuses children, and the mainstream media that covers up the crimes of abusers in positions of power? Or are you on the side of the brave truth tellers seen in this video, who are determined to make the world a safe place for our children? Here at The People's Voice, we're determined to continue exposing the crimes of the elite, but we need your help. Subscribe to the channel, spread this video far and wide, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our awesome community and support the channel. I hope to see you there. Today's video is brought to you by IPv6ers. Are you a content creator who wants to publish information online without Big Brother spying and censoring your every move? IPv6ers is set to revolutionize the way information is disseminated on the internet by eliminating the need for big tech companies to provide unreliable, overpriced services such as self-hosting, email, and data management. IPv6ers enables an easy and accessible way for you to host your own web and email server with direct end-to-end connections and enhanced security. This means no snooping from Big Brother and no interference from the technocratic elite. If Hillary Clinton can get away with running her own server, why shouldn't you? Go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 to sign up, or click the link below this video to take back control of the internet and win the info wars against the globalists. If you like our content, help support our sponsor IPv6ers and go to thepeoplesvoice.tv/IPv6 today. Thank you IPv6ers for making this video possible.